Hey guys, I'm back again with another video for you guys today. Today I'm going to show you what I do with my my fuel canisters that I use for my one of my fuel canister cells, I think. So basically, when I finish using when I started getting to like the fuel canister stoves, I've started buying these type of fuel canisters. You probably find it pretty much like any like sports outdoors kind of store, REI, Sports Chalet, Cabela's, those kind of places. You can pretty much find it. Big Five. And I've noticed that when I finish using them, I just kind of chuck them away and realize that it gets quite expensive. These are like the smaller size one. They cost about $4, and replacing them is kind of expensive. So what I did was I did some research went into YouTube and went online trying to figure out if there's like a cheaper alternative, if there's a way to actually refill these up. And I've come up with a solution that seems to work pretty well. So I bought one of these butane fuel canisters. You could get them pretty cheap. You have to look around, but the cheapest I found them was for $3.50 for a pack of 4. So if you look around enough, you'll be able to find a good deal on these. So that's pretty much less than $1 each. So that's actually a pretty good deal. And one of these fuel canisters can actually fill maybe maybe 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 of these types of fuel canisters. And these are like the smaller ones. There's like I believe there's like a medium-sized one and then like a large one, but these are like the smaller ones. So to refill these, I've actually had to went out and buy one of these little adapters that basically allows you to like pretty much you set it up like that, get these butane fuel canisters, and then you basically stick it on top and you press down. Before I do that though, what you have to do is you have to figure out how much you need to put in. So for that you need to get your weight. You have to figure out how much it weighs. So basically with this empty it weighs about 100 grams, but when it's full it weighs about 203 grams. In this case, this one's it's about 203. So this is a completely full canister. So when it's completely empty, it's 100 grams. So when you're filling it, you need to constantly kind of measure just to make sure that it's you're not overfilling it, because there might be a possibility if you overfill it way too much, it could explode. But just kind of be careful with that. I never actually went above like 205 or 206. So usually if you're within that range, I usually let some out. So I just kind of stick it on there and just kind of press on it, and you hear like a hissing. So you just kind of release some of the air out just to get it to where you need it to be, which is for this is going to be 203 grams. So this is the one I just recently used. It's not completely empty, but I'm just gonna show you just for demonstration purposes. So let's weigh this. So it weighs 162 grams. Let me just look at this again. So 161 grams. So we need to get it up to 2 or 3. So let me just stick this on top here. Get the butane fuel canister and just go and press down pretty good on it. And you kind of hear like a slight hissing. That should be pretty normal. So you just kind of do it. I kind of do it for a little bit, maybe 10-15 seconds, and I'll let go and I'll measure it again. Yeah, also make sure like the washer's on there. That's pretty important too, or else it'll start like leaking like a bunch. But yeah, this actually again with the adapter, I actually bought it. I looked online. I found it at this Chinese website. I can't remember what exactly the website is. I'll try to look through my history and see on my browser, see where I actually bought this, and if I do find out, I'll provide a link. If not, you could just do like a Google search for this, and I bet you should be able to find it. Just search like adapter for fuel canisters. Try it again. And I've heard that if you freeze the butane, the canisters, and if you put it in the freezer and kind of leave it in there for like a bit, it helps with filling it a little quicker. Usually it's a kind of a long process. It doesn't fill up as fast as you think it would. So usually if you put it like the fuel canisters in the freezer, it should speed up the process. But let's go. Kind of shake it a little bit, try to get it going. I'm just gonna be on it for a little bit just to make sure it gets in there. Sometimes you gotta have to kind of play around with it just to get it work. It's a bit finicky. Sometimes it doesn't get in there. And the butane canister, it's been used already, so I might have to maybe get another one. This one's about for half used. And it doesn't have to be specifically this brand Coleman. It could be pretty much any brand. Whatever you find that's cheapest, just use it. And I find that usually if you go to like if you have like Asian markets in your area, they're usually cheaper there. I usually find them cheaper there. If you go to like a Walmart or whatever, I find that they're more expensive, probably like $2 or $3 each, which is a little bit too much. So just try to find the cheapest you can. So I just so before we were at about 164. Now we're about 183 grams. So looks like we need about 20 more grams to go. Actually, yeah, 20 grams more to go, and that should be good. So just kind of go back and forth like that. Fill it up, check the weight, fill it up, check the weight, just to make sure you don't overfill. I'll keep it on here for maybe, let's go for 20 seconds. And I'll go back and weigh again. Yeah, it sounds like it's about to get empty. The butane. And they say that this is a mixture of like butane and isobutane or something like that. Let me check, what was it again? It's a mixture of propane and and butane. So that I just filled it with butane. It seems to work fine. They haven't had any issues with it like exploding or blowing up and like that. I'm just careful with weighing it, make sure I don't overfill, and that should be okay. I've been doing this for quite a while and haven't had one, explode on me or anything like that. So it seems to be okay. And I've tried different brands, one too. This one's the Premise, but other ones should be okay too. Let's weigh it again. So we're at 199 now. I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, we're at 199, so we just need just a little bit more just to get it to 2 or 3. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, it looks like we're almost empty here, so I think it should be enough to fill it up. When I'm doing this, I'm making sure that it's leveled pretty well. I don't want to like do it at an angle, because if you do it at an angle, it's just gonna be leaking a bunch of butane and just be wasting it. So I try to be as flat as possible on it. Okay. It's still the same. I think we might be out of the butane here. There's not enough fuel to get in there. Let me shake it a bit, maybe that'll help. And I forgot to mention, like the adapter here, I think it cost me, I want to say $10. Maybe a little less with shipping and everything to get it shipped from here, from China. And it's gonna take a while just because it's from China. It's gonna probably take, I don't know, maybe it was from Taiwan. I forgot exactly where it was, but probably take maybe about a week or 2 to come. So don't expect it to come too fast. If you find it from like anywhere else, then go for it. As long as it's it's this right here. You don't have to buy it from China specifically, but this is where I got it from this I believe a Chinese website. So let's go again. Hopefully it'll fill. The butane fuel canister is almost empty, so it's having trouble getting it in there. So I'm gonna try one more time to see if there's anything enough left in here to get it in there. If not, I'll just go pick up I'll just go get another one that I have laying around. So let's go one more time. You know, it looks like there's not enough fuel here to get anything in here. So you guys kind of get the idea, but let me go and pick one up right now. Alright, I got another one here, just a different brand one. I think I got this one in I picked it up in Chinatown. I found it pretty cheap. This and this, even though it's a different brand, it should still work. The important part is basically the head of it. If it's the same shape, then it should be okay. So let's go. Okay, looks like I put a little bit too much. So we're at 210 grams. So that's a little bit too much. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna let some escape. So I'm just gonna push on a little bit. So 203, that's pretty much where you want it to be for this size of fuel canisters. I just get the smallest one just because they're lighter. But if you're planning on going like maybe, I guess on like a longer hike or a longer trip, you can just buy the bigger ones. They have the medium size, and they have like a medium size one, and they have like a large. So yeah, there it is. That's how you fill them. Actually, let me just show you guys it working and not blowing up. And by the way, this is the stove, the fuel canister stove that I'm using is the BRS fuel canister. It's like the lightest fuel canister stove that I could find. Find it on eBay if you're interested. I'll probably provide a link, but let's try to get this lighted. It's working. Move the camera away from a little bit. It's kind of hot, but yeah. There it goes. It's working. Blue, nice blue flame. I'll just turn this down. And there we go. Thanks for watching this video. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and I'll try to get another video out for you guys when I can. Okay? Thanks. See ya.